Hey, what is going on, Virgos? Butch here. I'm going to do your 1 week read. It is a general read, so it may not resonate with everyone. It is for your Sun, Moon, Rising, and your Venus. For all you cross watchers, roles can be reversed. Always feel free to comment down below. I'm going to be using the Celtic Tarot. Fun fact, first deck I ever did a tarot reading with. Absolutely one of my top three, probably my favorite deck. I'm just going to say it. Always connected with it. It's been a while since I used it, but here we go. Let's get it. Universe, what message do we have for Virgos? What message do we have for Virgos, universe? What can we see for Virgos? All right, Virgos. So the first thing that I see, Virgos, I feel like this is someone that you already know, and I feel like you have a history with this person. I feel like there has been some hot and cold with this person with that Five of Pentacles. I feel like with this person, they were going through some things, because we do have the Tower. So I feel like this person was going through some things, and it felt like you were being pushed away after, and I feel like you helped this person, and, you put a lot into this person, and it felt like you're being pushed away. I feel like they weren't being completely honest with you, and I feel like this Tower moment is something that they kind of saw coming. I feel like with this person, they didn't really tell you about it. They were keeping it from you. But I feel like there's a very good explanation of why they were keeping it from you. In their head, I feel like this person, they think about you and only you. And this is no different. I feel like their imagination was kind of playing a little bit of a trick on them, because we have the Moon card. I feel like this person thought something was about to fall apart. They were doing so well, and it felt like, they were used to things falling apart when things got good. And they didn't want to drag you down in it. And they were thinking about you. They were protecting you. They didn't want you to get hurt. But they didn't know how to tell you what was going on. So it's almost like they just kind of went off on their own and just kind of try to take care of business. And that's the feeling I get. They were keeping it to themselves with that Eight of Swords, that self-imposed prison. Like, they didn't want to involve you because they didn't want to hurt you. They didn't want to bring you down with them. But I don't feel, that Tower moment came. The moment they thought was coming came, but it wasn't what they thought it was going to be. I feel like they're in a better place now. I feel like we have this internal struggle with this person. I just feel like they kind of, their imagination got the best of them. Like I said, with that Moon card, I feel like they thought it was going to be worse. And I feel like they were trying to protect you from it, so they were just kind of keeping you at a distance. But the Tower moment came. And it wasn't nearly as bad as I thought it was. And I feel like, we have the strength card. And I feel like they're stronger now than they were before. Sometimes when, we have this idea in our head that we're not used to happiness. And I feel like that's exactly what this person is. They're not used to happiness. They're not used to getting what they want. They're not used to being happy. So it's almost like when they get happy, they feel like, all right, when's the other shoe going to drop? When's this going to go bad? Because my luck is never this good. Meeting you, having this connection with you is something that they weren't expecting. But they were able to make it through. They're stronger now. They're more complete. And I feel like that has a lot to do with you. We have the Queen of Pentacles, that nurturing energy. I feel like you were there for this person. Like I said, they weren't pushing you away. They were trying to push you out of the blast radius of this tower moment, but it never came like they thought it would. Because they're stronger now than they were before. I feel like this person, it was their way of protecting you. And like I said, they're stronger now than they were before. And they're coming out of this and seeing things in a whole different perspective with that hangman. Everything that they thought was going to happen, happened. But the fallout wasn't what they thought it was going to be. They knew something was going to go wrong. But they thought it was going to be way worse. But they're just a stronger person now. Maybe a few years ago they couldn't handle what happened. But they're handling it now. Like a champ. And I feel like that's something that you have helped instill in this person. I'm not saying it was all you, but I'm saying you had a big part. And that's the perspective this person is seeing. They're seeing, they're coming out on the other side of this, and we have new stability. They're getting their shit together. And that's all has to do with strength. Strength, that inner strength is something that I feel like you helped instill in this person. And now they're stronger than they were before. Having the right person in your corner, kind of like a boxer. If you have the wrong person in your corner, you may not be successful. But having the right person with you're the same person, but having that right person in your corner can make you more confident and more adaptable. Having the right trainers, it kind of reminds me of when I was young. I used to play hockey and I really struggled. And then when I was, because I had this coach, he was really aggressive. And then I finally moved up to the next division and I met this new coach, Mr. Shaw. Greatest coach I ever had. And I learned so much under him. I didn't think I was good enough until I met him. And he showed me, he said, just little things here you're not doing right. You do those right. And it was night and day. And that's what I mean by having the right person in your corner. Some people get the best of us. Get the best out of us. And I feel like you get the best out of this person. And this, like I said, this internal struggle this person felt, they didn't want to push you away. They didn't want you to feel pushed away. They just didn't want you to get hurt. And they didn't know how to tell you what was about to happen. But like I said, I feel like they come out the other side stronger. I see new stability. I see them getting their shit together. I see them excelling. And I feel like you saw that in this person. And that's why you were there for this person. Because you knew they could be what you thought they could be. You knew they had this potential. And again, I talk about this all the time, but Virgos should just be people that flip houses, okay? Because you just know. It's almost like you have some kind of vision that you see things differently than anybody else. My dad used to do that. He's a Virgo. He used to buy houses, fix them up, and resell them. and he made a lot of money at it. Did really well at it because he just saw something that other people didn't see. You know, he could walk into a house that looked really nice and find flaws. Then he could walk into a house that looked like a dump, and he would find, you know, this he would find this diamond in the rough type energy. That's what he was always good at finding the diamond in the rough. You know, I could look at the house back then. We'd walk into a house and he'd be looking at buying these houses, and we'd walk in and I'd be just like, why would you want this house? He's like, oh, it's got good bones. He always said that. But like I said, I feel like all this is past or is about to pass, because, you know, I feel like they're coming to the end of that, you know, with the World card. Things are changing for this person. And not only is it just things, not only is new stability, but their way of looking at things. They're looking at things differently now. They're more self-aware, and they have more inner strength. You know, and with that World card, it's the end of the major arcana. It's, you know, you've been there, done that. You learn from it. They learn from it. You know, and what they couldn't tell you before, what I see coming is them telling you exactly that. You know, I feel like this person's going to be very open with you. You know, we have the Queen of Swords. You know, what they couldn't say before, they're going to say now. You know, and I feel like you mean a lot to this person, more than you may even realize, but you're going to realize it. You know, this person wants a future with you. They want to commit to you. You know, and they're finally ready to take that leap of faith. They finally feel ready for you. You know, that nurturer meets the protector. You know, this person, they did it out of something pure. You know, they didn't want you to get hurt. They thought they were doing the right thing. So sometimes people do things that best suits them. I feel like this didn't suit them at all. They didn't want you to feel pushed away. They didn't want you to feel left out. They didn't want you to feel left in the cold. But they didn't want you to get hurt, and they didn't want it to be their fault. You know, and I feel like I said, we have the father and the mother, the emperor and the empress. You know, I feel like you have something special with this person, and now that this person is feeling more confident in their own skin, and they're finding their way. You know, I feel like they always knew what they wanted, and they knew that you're the one that they were going to be happy with. You know, they fantasized about a future with you. You know, with that Page of Cups, they fantasized about it. They wanted it. But like I said, they didn't want their shit getting in the way. I wish I could give you more detail on what that shit was, because I feel like it is pretty deep. But like I said, this person's ready to move forward. Now that they know, this person's going to show up for you. And like I said, very genuine energy, very authentic with this person. I don't feel like they pushed you away out of any kind of, they just didn't know how to tell you. They were trying to keep you safe. The last person they wanted to hurt was you. The last person they didn't want you hurt at all, and they definitely didn't want to be the one to do it. So it's like I said, they kind of felt, it feels like they try to push you out of the blast radius of this tower moment. And I feel like the tower moment, like I said, wasn't what they thought it would be. I feel like it was a good tower moment. I feel like it was the end of the shit that no longer did this person any good. It kind of, going back to the whole house analogy, it's like you have a great foundation. They have a foundation that they know they could build something special with you on. But what was already built on that foundation had to go. The demolition crew had to come in and take that shit out so we can start off fresh here. But that's exactly what I see. A foundation being built here. This is someone that shows up for you. This is someone that will show up for you. They will put in the work. They never walked away from this. They never wanted to walk away from this. I just feel like they couldn't tell you before. They were afraid to tell you. You know, they were afraid to tell you, and they were afraid that you'd talk them out of it. If I'm going to be completely honest, this is what I see. You know, they could have told you what they were doing, but they felt like, you know, you talked them out of it. You know, and like I said, they're coming back, they're being honest. We have the rebirth, you know, starting over again here. And then we have the Knight of Pentacles, the Knight of Shields in this tarot deck. You know, this is someone that I feel like you can trust, and they want your trust. They want you to know you can trust them. You know, I feel like I just feel like this tower moment coming, they thought it was gonna affect them in a way that it didn't end up affecting them that way. It ended up being beneficial to them. They know now that they're stronger than they were. They're stronger with you than without you. And they want that, they want to be there for you. Like I said, that nurturer and protector energy, that emperor and empress. You know, they want to be there for you. They're going to show up for you. They're loyal to you. You know, with this person, we have Aries, Sagittarius. We have Pisces and Cancer. We have some Leo as well with Taurus. Some Aquarius as well. You know, it's sometimes we think we're doing the best thing. You know, and like I said, sometimes we do the wrong thing with the best intentions, if that makes sense. You know, it's but what I felt from this whole reading is this person, they didn't want to lose you. That was first and foremost the feeling I'm getting from this read, is they didn't want to lose you. But they felt like if they told you what was going on, if they told you the truth, that you either talked them out of it or they would lose you. You know, it's chivalrous. But like I always say, I mean, I feel like honesty is the best policy in any relationship. You know, that's how we build trust, by being honest. And I feel like this person's coming back knowing that they're in a better place and they can be honest with you. You know, they can be real with you, and that's why they want to be with you, because they feel real. They feel like this is real. And that's why the worst thing they could possibly think of is hurting you, because when someone truly cares about you, hurting you isn't an option. You know, it's again, honesty is the best policy. I think they could have been honest with you, but I'm not here to judge. I don't know the situation. You know, I feel like sometimes people try to protect us when we don't need protecting. You know? But it's out of a good place, so you can't really complain, right? You know what I mean? Like, can we complain that someone's trying to do the best by us? I mean, it's You know, it's like that theory of the white lie. Sometimes there's a lie that hurts less than the truth. Kind of reminds me of a not relevant to this at all, but this guy I used to hang out with, he was dating this girl, and I was friends with her too. And, you know, it was in high school, just to give you a little context of why it's kind of an immature energy, but I remember him telling me to break up with her for him. And it's because he was hanging out or wanting this other girl. And I remember he said, you know, just tell her that I'm interested in somebody else. And that, you know, and he was kind of mean about it. And I was like, I'm not really in that message, you know? So I went and talked to her. And I remember I played it, you know, in my opinion, I was trying to let her down super easy. Which he owed that to her, not me. But I'm the type of person where I'm not gonna throw salt on a wound. It's just not who I am. So I remember, I can't remember the story I concocted, but I remember it was a lot better than the story he told me to tell her. And at the end, I feel like she felt okay with it. The way he told me to tell her, I feel like I stopped being friends with him, by the way, after that. But the way he told me to tell her was almost like tell her that she wasn't good enough, and I like this person better because she's hotter. That's what I mean by it was high school, very immature energy. But anyway, sometimes we just, if the truth does someone no good and only does harm, if you can save somebody from that, I know it's a tricky line, but it's not black and white. There's a grayness to it. I think if you're doing it from a good place, you know, like I said, if the truth does you no benefit, it only does you harm. And I think that's where the white lie comes in. You know, it's like when you get wool socks from your grandmother for Christmas, and I don't wear wool socks, but I say, thanks, Nan. I love them. Throw them in the drawer and never wear them again. Because what would it done? What would it have done to tell her I don't wear wool socks? She would have felt bad because she got me something I don't need and won't use. It's the wool sock dilemma. Anyway, be good. Take care. Stay safe.